Hello and welcome to Cavs Daily, your one-stop shop for everything Cavs related. The good, the bad, the ugly, the rumors, the stats, whatever it is, we're talking about it here. I'm your host, Paul Williams. As always, appreciate you guys being here with me today as I try to drop another banger for you, despite not a banger of a performance by our Cleveland Cavaliers in their game tonight against the Toronto Raptors. We're going to get into all of that and more. But before we do that, if you could, please like, comment, subscribe. If you want to watch the video first and see if I earn it. But if you do enjoy the content, please subscribe and come along for the ride as we're still early on in this thing and we're trying to really take it to much higher levels. With that out the way, let's talk about this game. The Cavs coming into this game should have been riding high off of a very impressive victory last night against the Miami Heat in a game we shouldn't have won with numerous starters and superstars out for the Cavs. I mean, I guess flying back from Miami and playing in the second half of a back-to-back was never going to be easy for the Cavs to beat the Raptors in that situation, but still a bit disappointed from the performance and the effort overall in the game tonight. The Cavs came out playing pretty well. Donovan had 9 in the first quarter. Cavs had a lead for most of the first quarter, but late in that first quarter, the Raptors really started to cut into that lead, got it down to 1, 30-29 at the end of the quarter. Raptors took the lead early in the second and never gave it up. The Cavs once again trailed by double digits at halftime, which is really becoming a theme with this team. They trailed 67-54, and they fought back in the third quarter, had a good overall third quarter, played the best defense that they played in the game, and held the Raptors to 23 points. We cut the lead to just 5, 85-80, as we got ready for the fourth quarter. And again in the fourth quarter, we kept it within 5-7 points for a little while, but the Raptors, midway through the quarter, were able to push the lead up to 10. And from there, it just seemed like we couldn't put together enough stops, honestly, to even give ourselves a chance to get back in the game. And then whenever we did get a stop or two, seemed like we just had a bad play on the offensive end or a turnover, and just wasn't the Cavs' night, whether it was jet lag, I don't know. Most of the guys didn't even play last night, so yeah, they were still flying back and forth, but they didn't have to really put any wear and tear on their bodies for a few days. So can't really give too many excuses. The Cavs just shot terribly from 3 tonight. Shot just 24%, 45% overall from the field, while allowing the Raptors to shoot 55% from the field and 38% from the three-point line. Once again lost the rebound battle, this time 43-37 in favor of the Raptors. And the Cavs honestly were getting carved up by the Raptors. Scotty Barnes had 28, 10, and 8 on 28, 10, and 8 on us, which can't be giving that up. And there are 3 Raptors who scored at least 20 points. Emmanuel quickly had 25 himself. And we just didn't have many answers on the defensive end all night. DeAndre Hunter did a good job making things tough on Brandon Ingram and forcing him into a lot of shots that are just not high percentage shots. And Ingram had one of his worst games of the year with only 11 points, but wasn't really needed as other Raptors were more than ready to step in and pick up some of that offensive load. The Cavs were led by Donovan Mitchell, of course, with 31 points to go along with 6 rebounds and 6 assists. Really picked it up in the second half, especially rebounding and defensively. Got all 6 of his rebounds in the second half. DeAndre Hunter had 16 points and 6 assists, but shot just 7 of 16 from the field. Sam Merrill had 12. Don't even want to really talk about our big men. Our all-star duo of Evan Mobley and Jared Allen combined for 13 points on 5 of 13 shooting. Jared Allen, I don't know, coming off of one of the best games of his career just a day ago when he dropped 30 and 10 in Miami. Just once again looked out of favor with Kenny Atkinson and really couldn't find himself many minutes, especially in the second half, to do much. And Evan Mobley was just off tonight. His shot wasn't there. He only took 7 shots, which hasn't been Evan Mobley like this season. So just a weird game for both of our big men. Then off the bench, we had a couple solid performances. Craig Porter again had a good game for us with 10 points and 5 assists. And to me, the star of the night, Naquan Tomlin, who we'll be talking more about, had 18 points and 6 rebounds in just 22 minutes. Larry Nance with 0 points in 7 minutes, and Dean Wade with 2 points in 21 minutes. So that's kind of the wrap-up of the game against the Raptors. Cavs just didn't come to play, and the Raptors did, and the Raptors are a good team. And this is what happens when you don't bring your A game against good teams. Now, it's to be expected with so many new faces, new rotations, guys in and out because of injury for the Cavs to have some ups and downs to start this year, and I expect that to continue. But just how dramatic the ups and downs have been, I think, is a little shocking and not what I would expect out of this group of guys. I mean, we go from one night in Miami making one of the worst defensive plays you'll ever see in the history of NBA basketball to lose that game. And, I mean, it felt bad, and the spirits were down after that. And then we come back 2 days later in Miami with the most encouraging victory of the season, with 5-6 of our top guys out. Big underdogs, the Cavs come out and surprise a lot of people and have a lot of guys step up and come away with a big double-digit victory against those same Miami Heat. And then just a day after that, the Cavs lay an egg on their home court against a team that just beat us on their home court 2 weeks ago. And that's just kind of been the theme so far this season. Even half to half in the same game, the Cavs have been 2 different teams. Seems like every first half we fall behind, and we're playing comeback the entire second half, trailing by double digits to open the third quarter. Seems like at least 5 or 6 times in the past 7 or 8 games. Just we don't really have an identity now, and we're just riding a crazy roller coaster of emotions and ups and downs that I do think will get better, but it's been tough to watch. I mean, you think the Cavs looked great and were figuring things out when we had our best game of the early season when we beat the Detroit Pistons in Detroit. Just 2 days later, go to Boston and get blown out by the Celtics. And that's just kind of been this team so far. They really have been a Jekyll and Hyde type of team. Hopefully we can get that straightened out and really kind of fall into an identity of consistency and not as many disappointing surprises as we've seen so far. But it's just what it's been through 13 games. We're 8-5, so could be a lot worse. But yeah, it hasn't been easy being a Cavs fan or follower so far this season. Now, one thing that is easy to see is Naquan Tomlin definitely needs to get more playing time. I understand what we brought Larry Nance here for, and I was super high on him myself. Same with Thomas Bryant. But, I mean, the results are the results, and the eyes don't lie. Naquan Tomlin deserves to get consistent minutes, and I think he could be a game changer for this Cavalier team. The energy he plays with, the way he attacks the offensive board, and the way he just seems to always be on the right in the right spot offensively. Those are things you can't really teach, and those are things this Cavs team in particular sorely lacks and needs right now, especially with the stuff going on with Jared Allen and the Cavs just not really having many reliable big men outside of Evan Mobley. Tomlin deserves his shot. Tomlin is still only 24. This is his first real season in the NBA. He played in 5 games last season, but they were garbage time moments in the later half of the season. This is his first real taste of NBA action, and honestly, the last 2 games have been his first real taste of NBA action. He appeared for 1 minute in the 76ers game and for 6 minutes against the Wizards. And even in those 6 minutes against the Wizards, he came up with 6 points, 2 rebounds, and a steal, kind of just highlighting what he can do in limited minutes. He doesn't need a ton of time to make an impact. Versus the Heat, the game before this one, he had a great game in my eyes, taking advantage of his 18 minutes on the court for 9 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, and 2 steals. He followed that up with the best game, obviously, of his career tonight. 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals in only 22 minutes. He did that on 8 of 10 shooting, and he looked really good doing it. He can bring an energy and a go-getter's mentality to that big man rotation that we're sorely lacking. He's clearly hungry and will be out to prove himself all season long. And let's be honest, Coach does not like Jared Allen, so let's give Tomlin some of these minutes. He did play more minutes than Jared Allen tonight, and while I don't expect or really want that to be the case going forward, I do think that Tomlin should get 15 minutes a game, at least 10 minutes most games, to see what we do have there. He can also shoot the 3 as well, which is another facet that makes him interesting. He's 6'8", 6'9", but he's a long 6'8", 6'9", and he just uses that size and knows where to be, and is one of those guys that doesn't have to be 7 feet tall to impact the game as a center. And I really hope we get to see more of Tomlin. And he was the one bright spot of the loss to the Raptors tonight. So if we take anything out of this game, please let it be Naquan Tomlin is going to be a real piece of this rotation moving forward. And kind of along what we were just speaking on, Coach Atkinson clearly doesn't trust Jared Allen right now for whatever reason. He seems to always find a way to keep Jared Allen on the bench for the majority of the second halves of games, especially in decisive game or in close games and decisive moments. It's very rare to see Jared Allen out there, and it's become a theme since last season. And I feel like, honestly, we're going to kind of waste Jared Allen if we don't use him in high leverage situations, can't play him in the fourth quarter, aren't going to play him over 25, 27 minutes most games. Like, he could be the starting center for a number of teams, getting 32 to 35 minutes a game, and probably averaging 17 points, 18 points, and 10 rebounds, or 11, 12 rebounds a game. And I think some teams see him as that and would still be willing to give up a decent amount for him. And I just feel like if we're not going to get the most we can out of Jared Allen, it's time to really just think about trading him. He is on a very good contract, but I mean, something has to give. It seems like a lot of times he might not be the happiest camper right now either, even though he does always try to present as just kind of the goofy, happy-go-lucky guy. There's been some comments from him, and sometimes you could just see it in games where he might not be feeling that great about his situation and be all in that moment. So I don't know. I think this is the first time since Jared Allen has been a Cavalier that I'm in the let's trade Jared Allen camp, and that hurts me to say, honestly. I really thought this core four could rock together for a long, long time, but unless things change and we can get some consistency out of Allen, and that goes for his playing time as well, I think we're doing him a disservice and the Cavs a disservice in regard to what we could get from him, which would be more valuable than what we're getting from him at this present time. Whether it's maybe trading to Dallas for a package around Daniel Gafford like we talked about, or maybe to Brooklyn. Let's build a package, Jared Allen and some pieces for Nick Claxton and Michael Porter or something like that. I know Porter is on a bigger contract, but maybe there's some ways we can get creative with some contracts and make that worthwhile. I'm really just spitballing, but I think there's got to be a way to get more out of Jared Allen than we are right now, whether that's him still being a Cavalier and getting it out of him directly, or the Cavs trading him and getting it out of whatever value we get from him. Maybe swing for the fences, use him with a package of one or two of our young guys and maybe a future pick for Franz Wagner from the Orlando Magic. I think that would be a pretty nasty deal. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. And, man, if the Cavs could trade Jared Allen, and I hate to say, okay, Jared Allen, Tyrese Proctor, and then I guess one of Tyson and Merrill for Franz Wagner. Do you do that? I do that for sure. We're liquidating some of our depth, and we're upgrading big time, I think, at this time with what we'd get out of Wagner in that Jared Allen spot. Play Wagner at the 4, move Mobley down to the 5. Just an idea, but we have to do something with Allen, and I think I'm at that point where I'm open to whatever drastic measures have to take place. That's going to wrap things up for tonight's episode, guys. Once again, I really do appreciate you being here with me. If you could, hit that subscribe, like, comment, and check back in tomorrow for another banger.